So today we have Dev
What's up? What's up? What's up?
from RTBC podcast. What's RTBC?
Respectfully, the Black Creative. Yeah, it's just a creative podcast about people who have a creative mindset, insight about how we think, and just being that we're all Black. We have a different perspective in the Black community
An
about a lot of things.
experience.
Oh, definitely. It's all about trying to be able to bridge our gaps through one thing: creativity. Follow us at RTBC podcast.
And today we're going to talk about protecting your mental or your energy. But do you think it's the same though, protecting your mental and protecting your energy?
Protecting your energy and protecting your mental, I think, are very similar in perception and how you use your perception to deal with life. So how you get up and perceive things and your outlook on things and all of these different things that, under the surface affect your mood.
Mm-hmm.
So that in turn will affect your day or affect your progression and your mental drive. So I think within protecting your mental, you can protect your energy.
To make it clear, it's an example of you protecting your mental.
I think in general, it will start your morning ritual or your morning routines, how you apply yourself in the morning. For me personally, it deals with spiritualness or whatever. So you gotta become grounded with where you are and center yourself. So there's a sense of balance that needs to go on, whether it's a reset from yesterday's day that no longer is relevant because the past you can't undo or even tamper with, so it's gone. So trying to move forward, take what is, and then move forward is always that morning challenge, and we don't attack it like we should. So
Yeah.
I think that's a part of it. Then assessing where you can, be more effective in your day. I think starting your morning early is a very key essential part to attacking your day. So before your meeting and before you got to go to work, right? Instead of being up at 7 to be out of the house at 7:30, get up at 6:30, 6:45. Have 15 minutes to talk to yourself or whatever before you really actually have to get up and face the world. So
You said something. You have to leave the past in the past. And that's something that I really believe, what's out of your control, you can't let it affect you too much, you know? What happened, or what's happening is happening. But if you sit and you dwell, what's gonna do is mess up your mental because you're just focusing on the negative aspect of what's going on,
for sure.
not having solutions, and then there's just no progress. And I've experienced that in the past.
For sure. I think so. It makes you feel like you're in a stagnant place.
I think that we have to learn to take a break, step away from whatever is happening with us, right? I think sometimes the brain need a restart. Then we attack the situation again from a different perspective, and then we can come back and think of solutions,
Yeah.
I think that works for me a lot with protecting my mental. A lot of people, they're having a conversation with someone, and because the person is not agreeing with them completely, they feel like it's bad energy.
Yeah.
And that's such a big misinterpretation.
I've seen that too. Because this was a thing, people were talking heavy about, I need to get my energy right, I need to get this, I just can't do it. New year, new me, that whole era. So, I mean, it's really about self, I think, first, to know what your energy is, how you can protect anything you don't know what you're protecting.
I think it's important to have friends or people around you that will give you a challenge in your conversations. That doesn't mean that it's bad energy.
Right, yeah.
Once you can understand their perspective, they understand your perspective, you don't have to agree for it to be a good conversation, right? You just have to understand where that person is coming from. You can agree with it, you can disagree with it, but then at the end of the day, you walk away knowing that you've learned about a different way of thinking about a situation, and you've shared how you think about your situation, and you still have your energy and everything intact. That's how I feel.
Those are mature traits.
Yeah.
No, I think so. I think that being able to walk away or know, what's best for your situation, or that's a way of protecting your energy.
So another thing I want to bring up is protecting your mental by expressing your feelings, right? A lot of people hold a lot of things in, and for me, I personally, I can't do it. It's too hard for me. I don't think people should hold all of that in. Like, you need somebody to let out all of that too.
I think so. Therapist,
a friend, someone you don't know your business, don't know anybody
for sure,
you know.
for sure. I think that having someone to vent to is absolutely necessary or needed. Like, everyone needs a shoulder to cry on and somebody to talk to. I think so. From a male's perspective, it is a little bit different, I think, in the Black community, because I'm repping RTBC over here. So respectfully, I think that we definitely don't know or utilize as many outlets as we could, as far as like being open about how you're dealing with your mental and protecting it, or even assessing your life and dealing with traumas or things that were hard for you to overcome. So I think that we have a natural, innate gift about being able to share experiences that we can become in sync, or somewhat unified as a collective based off of similar experiences or likeness. So because of that, like, we should be able to express out and out loud and give a little bit of
emotions, vulnerability.
Yeah.
But I feel like
that's soft.
That's soft. You see, I feel like that goes into what I was gonna say. I feel like society make it feel like, especially for men, my opinion, you can share. I think society make it seem like men are supposed to be like always strong, always powerful, head up. And I feel like men are humans too. And you need to let it out.
But yeah, I think we all have struggles as humans, so I think definitely being able to vent to someone. And so, I mean, you just have to know exactly who you can vent to, where you can get it from in this day and age, I think. And being able to be more compassionate with each other and stuff.
And listening.
Yeah, listening.
That's a big thing. Sometimes when people are sharing their feelings or what they're going through, sometimes they just need a listening ear. They're not trying to find somebody who is looking to fix the problem. They just want to let it out. And you might be that person for them. So just listen to somebody who wants to talk, because you never know who they have around to listen to them. Maya Angelou once said, "There's no greater agony than bearing an untold story inside of you." And I totally agree with that. Sometimes you have people who their energy is just too much for you, and sometimes you have to know how to set boundaries. Like, don't feel like you're obligated to always be around them.
I think I have to set boundaries, or know what boundaries it look like in my mind, as far as what I'm going to say yes to and what not to say. I saw this video one time. It was just an interview, and they were talking about how you have to understand or realize the word yes is a very powerful word. The word is a granting word, but it's a very powerful word. It gives life or energy into things. So just as much as yes is powerful, no is powerful too. So you have to be able to be confident, strong, and courageous enough to say no, and be able to know what you're going to say no to. So if you if you allot enough time and space for yes to be granted for yourself, you say yes, these are the things I'm going to do. Yes, I'm going to do this for me. Then when others come to you with needing to borrow some space and time from you, you can say, oh, I don't have time for this, but I can do this. I can compromise. I can adjust things for them in a way that's not overcompensating or, compromising me of my own time.
And with the no comes a lot of backlash, I feel like. A lot of people, when you tell them no, sometimes their energy change,
Earlier when I was saying the confidence of no or the courage is definitive, so you know why the no is. As long as you know why, then there's no other real questions or explanation needed sometimes.
Sometimes you just need some time to yourself.
Oh, definitely. But I'm pretty social. Like, I can be up and stuff and be very active. It's just, it really feels like a battery just slowly just feels like it's not much left. It's not okay.
I'm sure you're not the only one that feels like that. I wasn't always this person that knew how to protect my mental or my energy. I've had experiences where I feel like I was mentally attacked consistently by people who I think should have my best interest at heart. And so with that experience, I went through a stage where I was always angry. I was always thinking about the negative things that were being said to me, and I would see how that affected my behavior. And I realized that I just felt like I wasn't the same person. I was slowly not being me, the happy me that I knew. My biggest thing during that stage was I can't let people determine my happiness.
For sure.
Words are words. These people don't know me like I know me. I know me. I know who I am. And they can't look at me and tell me who I am because it's my story. And I have the book.
And the pen.
And the pen. I'm the author.
Your experiences, did you feel like you didn't know who you were becoming at some point?
I knew that the person...
You feel like you lost your old self.
Exactly. I felt like I was becoming someone else. Instead of being the better version of myself, like getting older, going through stages, I was going backward. And I was going way back to a point where I've never been.
That's interesting.
So I had to pull the emergency brake real quick and shift gear.
Okay.
I had to just reevaluate.
I ask those questions because I can relate to that experience for sure. I have a lot of different viewpoints as far as like mental health or certain things that deal with things that affect you mentally but you don't know it's affecting you. So I had a similar experience where I was just feeling like very, very dark time and just feeling like you really don't care about much because there's no light. You just feel shaded in the darkness along with your feelings. So under that shade, you feel those cousins of darkness, is bitterness, misery, loneliness, anger, all of those group of emotions. You really do harness them, and they become your best friends, and
your toxic friends.
Yeah, and they really play on the different weaknesses of your mental. And if you're not a person who's getting any escape, like in my situation, my experience, I really wasn't talking to many people about anything that I'm really going through as far as how I was feeling during that time, because you really feel like, who's gonna listen long enough? Who cares? Or like, this is the world that, where this happens. This is the world that it happens.
Just deal with it.
Yeah. So that's usually how you feel like you need to deal with your own things. Put in a suitcase, pack it up, and let's go. So I definitely can relate to that experience.
And sometimes you have to be, especially because it's so hard, you have to try really hard to be intentional about your actions and your way of thinking in situations like those. Like, we know those toxic friends, the anger, the depression, the loneliness, all those things are always going to be in your ears saying, keep me, keep me. So you have to intentionally try to have opposite thoughts to combat those friends, right?
Yeah, especially climbing over the wall. The first, those first few hurdles, trying to get over and get through it.
They're gonna pull you back.
Yeah. Because you get comfortable. You get complacent in that feeling for sure. That first step is that, what you said, the hardest part, because then every intention is a new intention to a new you, and it just feels breathtaking each step sometimes. The new growth, and then you start to admire that new progress. You start to pick up steam, and you that's that new point where everything else, you're feeding yourself positivity. You're trying to really work on strengthening your mental, and that you can't, after it's that strong, it won't be broken so easily next time. And I think you start working on ways to protect your energy after you've accomplished protecting your mental. So I think it's a two-stager.
Yeah, I think so now after talking about that.
Yeah.
I think so. You have to have a strong mental to protect your energy. I hope that you guys got some gems from this conversation.
Talking to Tim, I'm sure you got gems, I'm sure.
Dropping gems all day, every day. But yeah, so I hope you guys got some good gems. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please remember, like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next TemTalks.